નમસ્કાર, હું આદર્શ છું. વેલકમ ટુ આદર્શ એજ્યુકેશન સોસાયટી. Hello students, today we will study about the presentation of data. This is the topic of standard 9, chapter number 14, statistics. So last time we have studied about something that is about the data, right? And we also study about that data are of the two types. First is the primary and secondary, right? So now if we have, suppose we collect the data from any of the source, right? Then how to present that data, that is called the presentation of the data. Let us take an example and understand this topic. One of the example here we have given that consider the marks obtained by 10 students in the mathematics test as given below. Here we have given the marks. So the marks are like this: 55, 36, 95, 73, 60, 42, 25, 78, 75 and 62. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So these are the marks of the 10 students, marks obtained in mathematics test, right? So this type of the data, if we put the data in this form, this data is called the raw data. Raw data, that means the data is not actually arranged in some of the particular method, in the particular format. So this kind of the data this is called the raw data. This kind of the data is called the raw data. Now if we suppose we want to find out some of the information from this data, then what will happen? Suppose we want to find out the maximum marks obtained by the students. So the maximum marks here it is, yes, 95. Minimum marks we want to find out, then we have to check the data. Here the 36, 25, yes, so 25 is the lowest mark, right? So it is somewhat time consuming process to find out this kind of the data. But what will happen if we arrange this data in either ascending or descending format? See, suppose we are arranging this data in ascending order. Ascending order, then first of all we have to write down the smallest number, 25, then the 36, then 25, 36, then 42, then 55, then after 55 here we have 60, then 62, then 73, then 75, then 78, and then 95. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So now the data is arranged in ascending form, right? So this is, we represent this raw data in ascending form. This is called the representation of the data, right? Now it is easy to find out. See, the lowest mark is 25, highest mark is 95. It is quick, it is not now time consuming. But whenever this kind of the raw data we have, it is time consuming to find out the sum of the information. So here we can say that the maximum mark is 95 and minimum mark is 25, right? Okay, one more thing here we have to consider, that is called the that is called the range of the data. Range of the data. Now what is the meaning of the range? Range, that means maximum mark, here it is 95, and minimum mark, here it is 25. So what is the subtraction we get here is 7070. So the range of this data is called 70. Range, that means all these data are, it has a range 70. It is starting from 25 and end with 95. That is called the range, right? So whatever the numerical data, whenever we have numerical data, then to find out the range, this is the process. Maximum value minus minimum value, right? So range is equals to what? Maximum value minus minimum value. When we subtract both this, we get the range of the data. Okay, now think about one more thing. Here this marks are of only 10 students. Now suppose you have 30 students, right? Then this data is now in the 3 rows, and now we want to arrange this data into ascending and descending. Again, it is a time consuming process. So what to do now? To arrange this kind of the data, we can arrange this kind of the data into a tabular form. We can make a table, right? And that table is called the frequency distribution table, right? That table is called the frequency distribution table. Frequency distribution table. Let us arrange this frequency distribution table by taking one of the question, that is of exercise 14.1. Question number 1. So the question number 1 here is that the blood group of 30 students of class 8 are recorded as below. So these are the blood groups of the 30 student. One of the student has A, B, one of the student, some of the student has O, A, B, O. So this is what? This is the data of the blood group of the 30 students. It is not in the arranged form. So this kind of the data is called the raw data. Now here it is not the numerical, so we cannot arrange it into the ascending or descending order. So now what to do? We can make the frequency distribution table. How to make that table? See, to prepare that table, here we have to make the 3 columns. The name of the first column is the blood groups, because this data is of the blood groups. This is, we can use the tally mark, and this is the number of students. So first of all, identify how many blood groups are there. The blood groups here first of all is A, then B, then O, and then AB. So only these 4 types of the blood groups are there. Now see, this tally mark, how to use this tally mark? First of all, start to identify the blood groups from here. A, this is A. So here we have to make one of this kind of the line segment, one of the this kind of the mark. Now B, so here also we have to put one of the mark. Now O is 2 times, so put 2 tally marks, 1 and 2. Then AB, now put one of the mark here. Understand? Now O, then again you have to put here A, here O, again O, so you have to put here B, here, and A, that is here. Okay, now continue with here B, then O. See, now O, 4 is already there, and this is the 5th value. So for 5th value we have to mark like this. So this will become a bunch of the 5 marks. Now again O, so we have to start from here. B, then A, then double O again here. O is there. A, now here also 4 is completed, so 5th we can write down like this. A, B, O, A. A, B, O, and A. Now A, again A, double O, so here also we have to put 1 mark. 5, bunch of 5 is completed. AB, here also completed. B, start new one. A, O, B, and A. Complete. This is how we can Write down all this data here. Now calculate. This is the bunch of 5 and this is 4. 5 plus 4. So it is, we can write down 9. 5 plus 2, it is 7. 5 plus 5, 10 plus 2, 12. And here it is 2. Now calculate here the total. Total is equals to 12 plus 2, 14. 14 plus 7, 21 plus 9, 30. So here also we have to confirm that whatever the number of the students data, the number of the students are 30. So here also we must have to got the 30. Otherwise you have to check one more time that you have correct the telemarks or not. So this is what we arrange this raw data into the form of a table, and this is number of students. We can also call them the frequency, and that is why this table is called the frequency distribution table. We divide this raw data, we arrange this data according to the frequency. That is why it is called frequency distribution table. We distribute the data, right? And what is the meaning of the frequency? Frequency means repeat time. That the blood group A repeats 9 times, blood group B repeats 7 times, O repeats 12 times, and AB repeats 2 times. This is the simple meaning of the frequency. Okay, so we can either call it the number of students or we can call the frequency. Both the words we can use here. So the 3 columns you have to make whenever you have to represent the frequency distribution table. Now from this data we can answer some of the questions. First question here it is, first of all we have to make a frequency distribution table, that is here. Now which is the most common blood group? Most common, that means the blood group which has the maximum frequency, that is O. So most common blood group is O because it repeats more time, 12 times. Second question is, and which is the rarest? Rarest means low value. Which blood group has the low value? AB. Only 2 students have this blood group AB. Okay, so whenever this kind of the data are there, we can first of all make the frequency distribution table, then we can answer this type of the question. If suppose you have this raw data and you have asked that which is the most common, then you have to go throughout the data. Every time you ask the question, you have to go throughout the data. Or you have asked the rarest blood group, then also you have to go throughout the data. But if we prepare once this frequency distribution table, now it is easy to answer the question, right? Some of the questions also ask that what are the number of students which has A and B, both blood groups, then now directly you can add these numbers, that 9 plus 7 is equals to 16. So it is easy to answer the question, to fetch some of the information from this kind of the frequency distribution table. Okay, so this is all about this lecture. Thank you. Thank you for joining us.